Hello and welcome to the Terminus podcast. I'm Trevor.
I'm Jeremy.
And that was fucking alright. And it feels like it was only yesterday that our first episode went out because it fucking did.
Problems.
So there were some problems.
We have no idea what the fuck we're doing. That's the problem.
Yeah, we don't have any idea what the hell we're up to right now. I have done podcasts before, but it's been like 4 years at this point since the last one.
I feel like you've also worked with really smart people before, and I'm pretty much a dumpster fire of a human being. So
I mean, you're a lovable dumpster fire of a human being. So
I appreciate that.
Let's just get this shit right out of the way. We were supposed to have that first episode out like last Tuesday.
Oh man.
And no, it's up. It's up today. And
I put it up. So up today.
I put it up this morning, or I put it up on Saturday morning. It is Sunday.
It is
as we record this.
1 week ago. It took 1 fucking week, Trevor. What the fuck were you doing?
I was working.
Quit your job.
You quit your job.
You know how to do this shit. I just talk and be funny. That's it. That's what I'm here for. That's my bread and butter. Mm-hmm. If it weren't for this, I mean, I don't have my looks going for me. I make people laugh. I make people laugh by my Fuck, I forgot what I was saying. Go ahead.
Okay, great. Thank you for getting what you were saying so that we can move on to the show that we do. That we've decided on a whim to be like, hey, let's do a podcast. So, what are you drinking?
Lime juice. And also, because I like lime and juice.
That's fair.
Lime juice is like the perfect drink because I really do like lime. And I also really like juice. So when you put them together,
you get lime juice.
And I also have a left-hand milk stout over here.
Okay.
Because I don't like milk, but I like beer.
So you think that you would like milk in a beer?
What I'm basically saying is
that's not even how it's made, is it?
I'm drinking this beer because I feel like it's healthy for me, calcium and shit.
Okay, so you think that by drinking this milk stout, you're gonna build strong bones?
Absolutely.
How old are you?
31.
So, do you think that the calcium shit applies to your 31-year-old bones?
One can only hope. I mean,
at this point, you're lucky that shit isn't causing you osteoporosis.
I mean, age is really it's a mentality.
It's not a social construct, my dude. It is real. You are getting older every day.
You know what? You tell that to me whenever I'm eating my cookies and milk stout, all right?
You really didn't have a retort for that. I'm sorry. I feel like I rib you a little bit too hard.
No, it's okay. I liked being ribbed.
Hey, so I'm drinking a milkshake from On Cue. It's a mint chip milkshake because I like mint a lot. Just kind of continuing the theme from last week. I also have some like mint chocolate cookies. It's like those Hershey's like Pretender mint thins. I
mean, are you pregnant?
Nah, dude. I just like mint.
That's just so weird. I mean, mint is, like, good in small doses. But I guess I just don't understand the appeal.
Okay. I mean, I can't make your taste buds like mint.
I mean, maybe you'll be down to smoke some Newports, you know?
No, that will never happen.
It's minty.
So, no.
Okay.
I don't smoke cigarettes, dude. That's why
I'm just saying, like, maybe you should pick it up. Give yourself that rough edge, you know?
No.
Make yourself look like a bad boy.
On top of all of the other health problems that I'm giving myself over these next, like, 4 or 5 years, I do not need lung cancer.
Lung cancer is just down the road.
I'll get it. I'll get lung cancer because I'm around people who smoke. That's how I'll get lung cancer.
You know what? All the most attractive, coolest people that I've ever seen smoke cigarettes. James Dean, he was probably the coolest dead guy that was ever pulled out of a wreck. Straight up. Decapitated, cigarette just dangling out of his mouth. And somebody said, damn, he looks cool. I want to hang out with that guy. But he is currently dead.
You can't hang out with James Dean because he died. Now,
and we're not talking about the porn star, by the way. That guy's still alive.
Yeah, and he sucks. James Dean, the not porn star, did not die of cigarette usage.
No.
Died of car accident.
So probably had a cigarette in his mouth, making him look awesome.
So we had a couple issues with the first episode. The biggest was the technical problems that we had with the mic that's supposed to be superior to the one that I'm literally using right now, which is my goddamn iPhone.
Oh, we're good.
I don't know what that was, but all right.
Again, I was mesmerized by the numbers.
You have to realize, like, people cannot see us right now.
No,
like,
that's okay.
Visual comedy does not work in this context.
No, it really doesn't. And basically, I like to assume at this point that
nobody listens to this.
Well, no,
Jason listens to this.
Jason
listens to this because Jason listens to this because Jason, to use a word popularized by our alt-right buddies, Jason is a cuck.
Jason is a hardcore cuck.
This is not a bit that we can continue.
And we're talking literal senso. Literal. We're not talking like political slander. We're talking like literal.
Okay.
He's into that. It's okay, Jason. We're not kink shaming.
No.
We support you, bro.
I mean, I don't even know what I walked into on this one.
Nux if you cuck, bro.
Nah. We're not.
Holler.
No. I'm not doing this.
Pound it,
all
bro.
right, listen, we have to fucking talk about the technical issues.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So the audio on the microphone that I was using was garbage. The way that it was being written to the program that it was recording into was trash. The program itself, Audacity, is a load of stinking baby farts lit on fire. And
delish.
I was able, finally, after like 4 days, to get the podcast edited and somewhat in a listenable format. It's 2 fucking hours long, though.
Yeah.
It was really long.
Yeah.
We can't do that again.
No.
So
never again.
Expect this episode to be about an hour.
I mean, we love you guys. We just don't love you that much.
No, we don't.
No.
I don't love you at all.
I mean, basically, go fuck yourself.
I mean, that's Jeremy's words. I don't love you, but I'm not going to insult you. Come to me. I'm your daddy. No, never again.
That was really creepy, man.
You're welcome.
That was really creepy, Dad.
So, great. So,
can I take this collar off though? Like, it's kind of itchy, dude. You know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
I'm just gonna go ahead and take the collar off.
Okay, good. So audio issues was kind of the main thing that halted production last week. That should not be an issue moving forward. We have our recording tools in prime form now. The other thing that we do want to talk about is the cutting of the Auto Warm Beer segment that we had. So you guys have not heard this because we did not include it. Again, I do have it. I did not delete it. We may release it if we can figure the shit out. But we wanted to kind of talk a little bit about why ultimately I decided to cut it.
Yeah.
I think we kind of got into a discussion. So we actually had a discussion right after the taping of that particular segment about how we felt that there wasn't a lot to talk about. Like, it was a pretty, as far as like what we could see, It was a pretty clear-cut situation.
Yeah, I mean, really the elements of the story were already there. I mean, basically, you've got a guy unfortunately died because of what happened in North Korea. We talked a little bit about the evidence, quote-unquote evidence, that was used against him, his quote-unquote confession that was used against him. I mean, how much further can you go? I mean, ultimately, it was kind of spinning into too much of a, I guess, opinion piece. And I'm not really too fond of a lot of opinion pieces, especially whenever they just kind of spiral out of control.
Mm-hmm.
And
not to mention, I mean, we did talk for like an extensive period of time on that.
Yeah, we really did. I feel like that was probably at least 25 or 30 minutes of a discussion that we ended up cutting.
Yeah.
Which, for the sake of length, on a very long piece of audio, that was a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I as much as I like the audio that we released, it was kind of tiresome listening to it myself.
It's hard to listen to a 2-hour-long podcast, and it's really hard to listen to a 2-hour-long podcast where tangents are done.
Uh-huh.
Now, imagine me. I have to listen to this shit 15 fucking times.
He's got, like, really bad bags under his eyes, too.
Yeah, it's great.
Like, I mean, he's got this crazy look.
I feel bad for him, but at the same time, it's kind of hilarious. So
yeah, I mean, I
don't feel too bad.
So now that we've kind of got that out of the way, we're going to move into the main chunks of our episode. We're going to start off with some news discussion, and then basically just kind of talk about some things that have been on our minds in the last week or so.
Yes.
And then we will end the show, as we did last week, on recommendations. Media and other things that we enjoyed. Hopefully, the end of the show, we should only be doing this about fucking 50 minutes.
Dig it.
Sweet. So, enjoy more of Kevin Moan, and we'll see you on the other side.
Hello. Welcome back, our baby birds. Mama bird, Trevor and Jeremy are back to regurgitate the vomit of truth down your gullet. That's it. That's all I got. You're welcome. We're basically feeding you, is what we're saying. Basically, you should be a lot more appreciative, because we could have knocked your asses out of the nest at any point, let you be cat food. But you know what? You're still here. You're still fucking here.
You are still here. Okay. Welcome back, indeed, to the Terminus podcast, episode 2. Jeremy, I love space.
Space is cool.
Space is fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah. Basically, there's no one there, and that's what I like about it.
I mean,
don't want
that's
to go
fair.
to space. I hate the world.
Do you know why I like space? I like space because the shit that inspired me when I was a kid was watching Star Trek. Yeah, fuck you, I'm a nerd.
I like Star Trek. I don't know why you're like so defensive. I mean, shit.
Watching movies about the moon landing. Obviously this is some shit that I was not alive for.
Yeah.
And it's like watching the different like shuttle launches and things like that, and watching re-entries. It was always really fascinating to me as a kid. And I like the idea of humanity one day leaving Earth
Forever, period.
Well, yeah, okay, so there's
fucking
that.
Period.
But leaving Earth to explore.
And what the fuck is your Jesus going to do then? Whenever we're gone. Like, where the end of the world came, well, where the fuck is he going to go? Like, the end of Mars came, right? Sorry, go ahead. My apologies.
No, you're fine.
Beer's good.
Beer is okay. Maybe this was... No, it's not a mistake. We're going to keep going. Anyway, I like the idea of humanity going and traveling through outer space.
Yeah.
Finding new shit, landing on inhabitable worlds, and, either interacting with whatever life we find or starting life on those planets, seeding the planet, essentially. That is some cool shit to think about.
It's cool up until you realize it's America trying to make that headway to get to those inhabitable planets and quote unquote coexist with that alien life. We're just gonna fucking kill everything there.
God damn it. That is sort of where we're getting to, yes. So
Oh, I didn't realize that's where we were going.
Yeah.
My apologies. Holy shit.
Now,
spoiler alert, guys. Am I right?
Well, now we come to the point where we realize that right now, this is sort of Carl Sagan's worst nightmare.
Yes.
The United States is fronted by a man who spends his time tweeting obscenities at morning news television personalities like Mika Brzezinski and Joe Scarborough. This is a man who has spent time arguing with people on the internet, blocking them, which is actually against the fucking law.
Yeah.
At his level. And realized that he is in charge of our space policy.
This is a person you people elected, by the way.
Yeah, this is true. So this is someone that the American people elected. As much as we may hate that idea, it did happen. And
are you sure this isn't a fever dream, man?
This might be a fever dream. Hey, you know what? I've always said that it's Bernstein, not Berenstain.
I mean, I remember...
Like the Bernstein Bears.
I remember Sinbad playing a genie.
That is the Mandela effect that we're talking about. That's a real thing.
You know what? It all works.
But
whatever.
The reason we're bringing this up is because today or yesterday, I don't know, I don't care, it was announced that the United States is bringing back its National Space Council, which was a thing in the 70s, or the 50s through the 70s, and again from 1989 to 1993. And what the National Space Council is tasked with doing is sort of guiding presidential space policy. Again, that would be innocuous and not something of note. Be like, oh, neat, cool, we're doing things in space. Until you realize...
that space oil.
Donald Trump is the fucking president.
We're gonna get that space oil, boys.
Great.
We're gonna get them space Muslims and Mexicans.
So, of course, all of the news is surrounding Donald Trump's non-words, non-sentences that he made with his very gross mouth at...
Why is he always duck-facing?
I don't know why he's always duck-facing, but that is just him.
It's like he seriously thinks he's just constantly on Instagram and he's like a teenage girl.
That's what we're doing right now.
God, he's got a fine ass, so...
Oh, it's in my brain, and now it's in the audience's brain, too. I hate this.
You're welcome, baby birds. I told you I am going to regurgitate the vomit of truth down your gullets, baby birds. You could call me mama. You're welcome, my babies. Trevor?
I quit. I can't. Cheers. Okay, so I wanted to bring this up for the obvious fucking absurdity that our president is leading space policy right now in a time where NASA needs the boost, right? So NASA needs this boost in funding. I'm absolutely fine if we tried to sort of depoliticize this shit, but it's impossible to take away from the fact that we are literally like, you know, Peepaw, you know your old man's old man.
Yeah, he was rad, dude.
Okay, maybe my old man's old man.
He taught me how to fish. He taught me how to walk. Don't you talk shit about my papa. My papa was awesome.
Okay, we're imagining the audience's Peepaw.
Your Peepaw sucks in comparison to mine, guys.
This is a gentleman who watches Fox News religiously 24/7.
That's just my dad, dude.
Okay, well, great. Well, then your dad is Peepaw.
God, I just want to fight him now.
That's totally fine. Guy who just sort of yells at the TV all day. Yeah. So that's our president.
Yeah.
So that's a thing that happens.
But he wants you to hear it by yelling at Twitter.
Yeah, he yells at Twitter. He is in control of essentially the nation's press corps.
With his tiny little hands.
He can basically convene press conferences whenever the fuck he wants and say inane shit all the time, and today was no different.
I mean, with an ass like that, though, I mean, you can't do no wrong.
I hate it so much. Jeremy, you can't do this. So it's hard to think about, or hard to reconcile the fact that even though we have a shit for brains for president, we have things that need doing. Like, we have things that need to get done, such as NASA's budget needs to be fulfilled, and we need to go back to space. We need to go to the moon. We need to go to Mars. We need to leave the solar system if at all possible.
Yeah.
And right now, NASA is unable to do that because of budget constraints. And the only folks doing it are groups like fucking SpaceX,
right.
Elon Musk.
Right.
And
which is a godsend.
Honestly, I mean, like, it's awesome that he's doing it. I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
But I've always said that I'm sort of a NASA anarchist in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I am an anarchist up to and including the point where we need to basically band together as a grouping of people to go to space. That is some shit that I think that sort of supersedes any sort of national interest. That is a truly global desire.
Yeah. Of
and
course.
I just hate the fact that this is a thing. You know, that something that is potentially so positive can come from this guy, because, you know, there's this idea that we shouldn't normalize the president, and
right.
You know, the fact that he is doing normal things that a president should do, such as reinstate space councils so that NASA can get proper funding and it can be argued in front of Congress more efficiently than it has been, that is a good thing.
Right.
And then, of course, we come to the president, and he just gets up on stage and he just yells a bunch of gibberish about space and eternity and infinity. After Buzz Aldrin, who is the poor guy, he's looking old. He's looking old.
I mean, God bless his soul.
Yeah, but after he gets
is old, though,
he says his catchphrase to infinity and beyond, and that leads Bush or wow, hi, it's not the same. It isn't the same,
no.
but. Leads Trump
one's worse than the other.
Leads Trump to start talking some shit about infinity. Like infinity, what is it? What do we like? He just goes
just
on a tear about infinity, and then at the end he just says okay and walks off stage. I'm like,
he did a bigly good job, guys. He did a very bigly good job, just the most fantastic job. But like I said, with an ass like that, can't do no wrong. What I'm trying to say is, ladies and gentlemen, he's a butterface.
I'm just gonna let this silence ring out because this is insufferable. I cannot work under these conditions. So yeah, that's one space news. Trump flubbed the fucking National Space Council relaunching.
I mean, did you expect anything less?
No,
come on.
no, I didn't. But it's newsworthy.
I've never heard an intelligent thing come out of that motherfucker's mouth.
I have not either. The other story that we have relating to space is a little bit more concerning because the government decided to sort of just create a new branch of the military. Now,
hold on, wait a minute, hold on. Before you get into this, I want you to think back to the time that you played Ghosts for the first time, Call of Duty Ghosts. I know what you're going to say, either A, fuck Call of Duty, or B, that game sucked. Somebody played that game and thought, that's a really good idea, and go.
Great, so the government is creating a new branch of the military called the Space Corps.
Oh, man.
It's going to be part of the Air Force. I don't know if it's been officially sort of launched, but it was sort of voted on and approved. So that's the thing that we get to expect now. And basically what it is, from what I understand the goal is, basically providing defense to our satellites, telecommunications, military, and otherwise. That being said, you know, we could take this shit down 100,000 conspiratorial directions.
Oh,
I mean, you got Coast to Coast AM literally had made their bread and butter on talking about how the government is creating shit to fight aliens and shit.
Dude, and this is the kind of shit that they've been accused of. Yo, they love it, but the funny thing about it is, like, they've always been called fucking insane for talking about shit like that. And here we are, 2017, with your fucking baby-handed president, and all of a sudden, he's, what's-his-face over there from Coast to Coast is sitting there with the biggest fucking hard-on possible. Like,
Jesus Christ.
I knew it, guys. I knew it. Fucking pants down to his ankles. Everybody in the studio feeling incredibly fucking uncomfortable.
Including people outside of the studio, like me.
I feel incredibly uncomfortable, but at the same time, slightly tingly.
You've always been like that, though.
I mean, if I'm being
being
honest with you, I'm kind of been half-mast since I started talking about Trump's ass. So, I mean, that booty, though.
Okay, we have to stop. But there are 100 different reasons why this is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
You know, they're basically sort of framing this as the Air Force cannot currently exist without some major restructuring anyway. Mm-hmm. And the anarchist in me is like, okay, great, close down the Air Force. You know, like if the Air Force can't function, if it as a bureaucracy it can't figure its own shit out, close it down.
Yeah.
You know, of course, I feel the same way about every branch of the military. I feel the same way about the state, but
Agreed.
but you know, you don't create another agency on top of the one that's having major issues.
And basically, and to kind of, take this a step further, frankly, that's money that could be, redistributed elsewhere where it's necessary, like education,
healthcare,
arts programs, things that are actually socially beneficial. Because I know there are going to be those people, and I can also kind of understand, I guess, to a certain degree, some of the arguments against the idea of getting rid of the military. Okay, we can have that discussion at some other point, but that's money that could be distributed elsewhere, and here we are talking about fighting the aliens in space so we can protect the satellites and get the space Muslims out of our country. Or something like that. That's what I'm imagining is probably going on right now. Because fucking America.
That's a good Cliff Notes way to distribute. No, it's basically it's the Star Wars program back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Yeah. It's that all over again. But now it's a branch of the military. And, I mean, it's just... There is a resource allocation problem here. But also, I mean, just... God damn it. Like, we don't need to do this.
We really don't.
It's not necessary.
No.
NASA exists.
Yeah.
It is a quasi-military organization.
Right.
It works with DARPA. It works with the Defense Department. It works with other branches of the military. I mean, fuck. Most astronauts got their start in the Air Force.
Right.
Most astronauts have a military background otherwise.
Right.
And it's hard to imagine what the people who were sort of integral in forming the sort of bones of the current space program, it's hard for me to picture that they would be very stoked about this development.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to sit there and go, yeah, no, they would be all for this. Yeah. Because, remember, even in the midst of the Cold War, there was more collaboration between the United States and Russia in terms of getting to space than there was anywhere else.
Right.
It was something that all nations could come together and say, yeah, we want to further humanity, get to space, and do so in a way that is not fueled by militarism, not fueled by the same sort of, to use a leftist buzzword, because I know that might freak some of our audience out, imperialist mindset.
Right.
Taking the U.S. empire or the Russian empire, the Soviet Union, and putting it into space.
Right.
Now instead we have the Earth Empire, and it's conquering Mars. Like, that's an absurd thing to think about.
This is some Star Wars, Star Trek type shit, dude, that I didn't... I'm going to be honest with you guys, and go ahead and leave your hate comments, but I hate Star Wars anyway.
Yeah.
And this situation makes me hate Star Wars even more.
That's all I really got on space. Without realizing it, we've hit our 20-minute mark.
I'm really proud of us, and I'm really proud of you guys for sticking around with us.
But
before we go to break, I just want to say, in closing, grab her by the alien pussy.
I'm cutting that out. When we come back from the break, we're going to be talking about some pop culture things, and also diving into a subject that is close to Jeremy's heart, or has been on his mind at the very least.
Yes.
Be right back.
Hey guys,
welcome back.
And by the way, before we begin, Trevor,
yes,
I just want to say, whatever you guys do, please don't grab alien pussy. Don't grab any pussy without consent. That's it.
Great. Okay.
You're welcome.
Now, I'm gonna, since I had cut out the last one, nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about now.
I'll make sure they know.
We're leaving this one in just because everyone else is going to be super confused.
God, you guys are going to be so confused.
It's going to be great.
Oh, I'm so excited for you.
So, you brought this topic up to me a couple days ago while I was editing the first episode. You want to talk about some things.
Yeah.
So I'll let you lead this discussion since this is your baby. Kind of.
Yeah, so check it out, boys and girls. Before I get into it, I do want to preface this. Okay, so, full disclosure about myself, I don't really like to keep any secrets about me, So I've got a really bad past of kind of psychological issues, right? And I won't go into too much detail, but I've got a history of, self-mutilation, suicidal shit. But I was also anorexic for about 4.5 years. You would not believe that now looking at me. But I was a tiny little dude there for a little while, which left me in a position where I had body dysmorphic disorder. And by the way, these things are, I was diagnosed. You know? So these aren't just things that I'm just kind of putting on myself and. Like a lot of people do.
For sure. I mean, self-diagnosis is legitimate to a point, but, it does help, I think, to outside sources to have that diagnosis.
It does, but relying on self-diagnosis is like saying I have a cough and then finding out you have cancer through WebMD. You know what I mean? Like,
it's risky.
It's risky because of the fact that it discredits those people, I think, to a certain degree, that actually suffer from it, and especially when it's toted around as like some sort of label of I don't know, like people are proud of this and they proclaim this, but they will in the same breath like say that they are undiagnosed being this way, and then just use this as a crutch, you know what I mean? And that's not okay, because there are people who suffer from it and people that do have to deal with that type of shit, They have to deal with you and the things that you bring to the table. That's not okay.
Yeah, I mean, there are stigmas. And
yeah.
I think kind of what you pitched this discussion to me as was a way of talking about body dysmorphic disorder,
exactly,
in a way to try to erase some of the stigma.
Exactly. And so let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Right? White guy paints his face black, right? Acts black, or the stereotypical black. What is the first thing that comes to your mind whenever you see that?
Well,
I mean, let's be honest.
It's blackface.
It's blackface. It's racism, right?
Especially, the way that we're framing this guy painting his face black, probably
for the sake of entertainment,
black,
right?
It's the same minstrel show bullshit
exactly.
That's been put, peddled around.
Exactly. So my next question is, if you see a person who has gone so far as to pretty much, surgically adjust pretty much everything about his or herself, what would you think immediately of that person?
I would think that, their whole look is very expensive.
Their look is very expensive. So what would you think drove a person to make these changes?
I mean, I kind of know where you're going with this, and I'm probably not the best person to ask because I'm a little bit different from a lot of lay people. I'm a little bit different from folks who haven't spent fucking agonizing hours talking about similar topics with people.
Yeah.
And my first thought, genuinely, would be, either A, they just really like getting plastic surgery. Like, it's a thing that they really like doing.
Right.
B, they did not like something about themselves.
Right.
To where they think that getting plastic surgery can fix that.
Mm-hmm.
Or C, someone pressured them to do it.
Right. So let me kind of tell you what I see.
Because
Okay.
living in that mindset, basically, you look in the mirror and nothing is exactly as it seems, right? I can tell you the smallest I was ever have been was 130 pounds.
That's really tiny.
Yeah. So even looking in the mirror back then, I was still fat. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It didn't matter how small I got. I was still fat. It got to... it got to the point that, my entire digestive system had just died.
Right.
It was just gone, obliterated. Just because of the fact that I couldn't get skinny enough. I couldn't get small enough, right? And then whenever you heal out of that, you physically heal. But mentally, that stays. And for a long time, it actually got worse.
Yeah, because as you were gaining weight back, you're like, the image in the mirror, I imagine, would probably look bigger and bigger and bigger and grosser and grosser and grosser.
And it was actually a problem because there were years.
Yeah.
During my recovery, I couldn't actually look in the mirror. But this is not about me.
Right.
So I was... I saw this post, and it was an individual that...
Now, this is on Facebook.
This is on Facebook. So it's just standard Facebook drama, but it kind of digs deeper. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Where it's a person who has her own fair share of issues. Posting this picture and basically going out of her way to, I guess, completely verbally destroy this person, right? And the person...
A person who she doesn't know.
She doesn't know at all. The person in question that she's talking about is a woman in Germany who, over the years had very massive breast augmentations. I think she had a tummy tuck, facelift, nose job. I think she's aiming for butt implants now, if I'm not mistaken. Like, a lot of money, a lot of time was spent in the surgery. And I'm not judging her for this, nor should you feel ashamed if, you have had plastic surgery of your own. It's your body. Do with it what you will. It's not really anyone's call but yours.
But she's undergone a pretty extensive sort of transformation.
She has, and whenever I see something like that, and even me, like getting piercings, right? Piercings, I got them for an alteration. You know what I mean? Because something about what I saw in the mirror at that time just didn't sit right with me. And I can only assume it's going to be the same case for her. But this woman was going through what she claimed to be a racial transition.
Okay.
So she wanted to be a black woman. She, from what I could see, she didn't have anything negative to say. In fact, she only said she wanted to be a black woman because of the fact that every black woman that she's ever met and every black woman she's ever seen was so lovely. Like, she loved these people and she wanted to be with them. You know what I mean? And she wanted to identify with them. Now,
there's some problematic stuff in that claim, but continue.
Well, and then we could take it further, and there was a time that she actually, keep in mind, we're talking about mentality here.
Right.
That she ended up having her passport confiscated because of the fact that it did not...
It didn't match her.
Yeah, it didn't match her, basically, even though it was the same person. It just had a different race on it. And in her mind, she sincerely believes that she is a black woman trapped in a white woman's body. And it just kind of led me to think about, I guess, the way that we treat people with very obvious mental issues as a whole. You know what I mean? Speaking as a person who had spent so long being anorexic, suffering from eating disorder.
As a result of your body dysmorphia.
Exactly. It's easy for people to say, oh, well, you eat a cheeseburger or whatever, and it's never that fucking simple. It's actually kind of offensive because if it was that fucking easy, if it was that easy for us to just get the fuck over it, we would. The truth is, whenever it comes to, and I'm sure someone's listening right now, and maybe even you might know, all of us have like that deep-seated kind of shadow, you know what I mean? That secret, and it hurts, you know what I mean? For a person in that kind of position, it's physical pain. I mean, even getting plastic surgery or whatever, that's not something that feels good. You know what I mean? Like, there's pain.
There's
that
recovery
goes,
time that
exactly.
you have to go through.
You know, for a person with any sort of eating disorder, for instance, I mean,
the hunger hurts.
The hunger hurts. Recovery hurts worse. I remember I was running constant fevers every time I ate, you know, and I was vomiting a lot because of the fact that I couldn't get over it. And like, there were so many times I just said, this isn't fucking worth it. I can give up. I just need to give the fuck up. But I realized it wasn't. Basically, I was my own enemy, and I could not let myself win against or lose against myself. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Yeah. You know, so basically, I guess it just kind of bothers me whenever I see people just kind of demonize mental and disorders the way that they do. If we could just take the time to just have a discussion with one another, and just take the time to try to get on another person's level, even just show someone a little bit of empathy enough to try to get in their headspace and just try to understand what it is that drives this person to be the person that they are, maybe we wouldn't be so easily offended anymore. Maybe we would actually be offended for the right reasons, and it's offended because of the fact that this person feels the way that they do. Offended because this person actually genuinely suffers because of what it is that they feel, and not offended because of how your overall appearance or your mentality makes us feel. You know what I mean? And that's basically what I had to say about that. Just open your mind up. Talk to one another, because shit, these are scary fucking times now. We need one another. And we can't afford to just throw each other under the bus like that, man. Not anymore.
So we don't have a whole lot of time, but I will say, you know, I definitely hear what you're saying. It's shitty. People are very quick to make snap judgments about others. You know, in hearing sort of what the person you're talking about, not the person who posted this, but like the person who is doing this has to say, there is some shit in there that is probably worth talking about, like in terms of like critiquing.
Right.
But ultimately, you know, I think you could probably paint a parallel and then show where it's different between this person that you're describing and someone like Rachel Dolezal, who she made money off of pretending to be black. She made money off of sort of taking up this cultural space that didn't really belong to her.
Right.
And that she doesn't really understand that well.
Right.
You know, like the person that you're talking about, I don't know if I would make the same choice, but again, I don't have the same sort of self-concept.
But that's exactly why it's important that we have those conversations.
Exactly.
Because of the fact that, I mean, honestly, and Trevor, you could back this, man. I've made some really shitty judgment calls on people. I mean, and I feel horrible for it whenever it's called out to me. It's just like, hey, this person's got a legitimate problem. I'm no less guilty than the guy standing next to me. You know what I mean? And that was also another part of the wake-up call. It's like, you know, I've got all these fucking problems. Who the fuck am I to sit there and pass judgment on this other person for their own? You know what I mean? Right. And that's what we all have to understand is, you know, your problems are yours. You've got your own fucking set of problems to deal with. Stop trying to villainize someone else for their own set. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that's all I have to say, man. And ultimately, in the end, and this sounds like it's going to be kind of cheesy, and it kind of is,
But, whatever it is that you guys are going through, I don't care how dark it is. I don't care what the secret is. Just know that you don't have to be alone if you do not want to be alone. There's someone out there who loves you. And I know I've had my friends back in some really dark shit. There's going to be someone there to back you up regardless. So I just want you to know that.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So, thank you for that. I don't really have a whole lot else to say. I don't have a whole lot, to contribute to that discussion. But it is clear that I think, discussion of mental illness and how we treat it in society is something that we're going to be coming back to. And I think, honestly, having that discussion might be difficult at times, but it does seem like a good discussion that we can have at various points through the rest of our podcast.
Well, and I've never seen good conversation be ones that are easy to have.
Yeah, no, usually they're not. So, we will navigate it about as ham-fistedly as we always do.
Oh, we're dumb as shit.
We are dumb. You guys don't have to listen to us. That's the
true.
thing. We are not experts.
Fuck out of us. We are dumb as fuck, guys.
We are not experts. But when we come back, last few minutes of the show, we're going to talk about our recommendations of shit that we have seen and what we want to see in the week and weeks to come.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
We are back. And
for the end.
For the very end.
For the last time. This is the end of the podcast right here.
Absolutely.
Episode 2. No, it's the end of the show.
We quit.
Jeremy quits. What did I call you last week? Joffrey?
Yeah, what's up, Trent?
No, it's Travis.
Yeah, Trenton.
Okay. All right. New names.
Thanks,
Great.
Trenton.
I'm going to call you Jim.
Okay, cool. That'll work. Well,
right.
Trenton, just so you know, I've got some music suggestions. What the fuck happened there?
I don't know. It's like you decided to call me a different name, and I cursed your tongue. Now you can't fucking say anything.
I forgot words. So, actually, I have 4 musical recommendations for you, lovely ladies and gentlemen. The first off is 68, 2 parts Viper. 68 is awesome, by the way.
Okay.
Do you know what 68 is?
I do not know what 68 is.
68 is rad as fuck. So it is...
Describe it.
It's the lead singer for, the old lead singer for Norma Jean.
Okay.
He went on to make The Chariot, right?
Sure.
The Chariot broke up. He started this new band, the 68. And it's like this really loud, fucked up, almost garage rock meets hardcore.
Okay, I like it.
And it's amazing.
I like this already.
So good. I want to say that it's just 2 guys, too. It's just a drummer and a guitar.
Tight as hell.
It's so amazing. Next up, 88 Fingers Louie is back. And, man, I'm so fucking stoked on that. That was, one of my big bands when I was a fucking kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
They released a new album called Thank You for Being a Friend. And, guys, it is legit, old school 88 Fingers Louie. It's fucking incredible.
Okay. I'll check that out.
Now, the next one's not an album.
Okay, what is this?
It's a band called the Hawkins.
Okay.
They are from Sweden. And
I like Swedish bands.
Oh, and they're so good. They have a song that was just released. It's a single called Rat Race. And it is, man, this is a band that's kind of all encompassing. They mix punk rock and stoner metal, I guess, to kind of a bluesy sound and all this. It's just really fucking good. If you want a band that's super complex and super talented with a fantastic lyricist and a fantastic set of lyrics or vocals, the Hawkins is the way to go. And last but not least, Trenton, do you like drugs?
No.
You were supposed to say yes.
I don't. I have never liked drugs, dude.
So you were supposed to say yes. So I'm going to assume that you said yes. Do you like Axe body spray?
No.
Okay, so also I'm going to assume that you said yes. Do you like really busted up,
Chucks.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we're on a roll.
One out of three.
No, we're 3 for 3. So
No.
far. No, you said yes to everything.
God damn it.
Once again, do you like drugs?
No.
Are you sure you don't like drugs?
I don't like
I'm pretty
drugs.
sure you like drugs.
I do not like fucking drugs.
Trenton likes drugs. I have a band for you.
Great.
The Black Lips.
No.
Man, they're amazing.
Okay.
So, the album Satan's Graffiti or God's Art is so fucking good. So
I like the name of the album.
Oh, every album they record is great. Like, it kind of reminds me of if the Rolling Stones never got out of a garage and they were still just recording in their garage, you know, like super lo-fi, really loud, really reckless music. Black Lips does it, and they have always done it so fucking well. And Satan's Graffiti or God's Art is just them keeping that pace. So basically, if you like drugs, Trenton, you like Axe body spray, you like busted chugs, and maybe a denim jacket as well, but also drugs, Black Lips, Satan's Graffiti or God's Art, that's the way to go.
Great. So yeah, if you like any of the above things, busted chucks, drugs, or whatever the fuck else you were saying,
Maybe heroin.
maybe, sure, check out Black Lips, and check out all the recommendations that Jeremy had. I've got a couple of my own. I actually just added 2, which is unfair, but I'm going to talk about them pretty quick. I got 2 music recommendations for you guys this week. Career Suicide had a album release recently.
So fucking good.
Machine Response. If you know anything about Career Suicide, you'll know it is sort of a side project of one of the members of Fucked Up, which is a fantastic Toronto band.
So fucking good.
So good. I still listen to them, even though I haven't really heard a lot of their newer stuff, but it doesn't matter.
It's also super fucking good.
They're just a quality band all the way around.
Also listen to Piss Jeans. Because they're a good band.
Piss Jeans is great.
Completely unrelated.
But Machine Response is like 17 or 18 tracks, all super short, like a minute and a half long of just punk. It's just punk rock. Like, that's all you can really say about it. You are crunching ice on the air. Did you think about that? It's like, is this part of your ASMR game? You know, we'll call it that. Anyway.
I'm here to fuck up everything that's beautiful.
That's right. So Career Suicide, Machine Response, check that shit out. It is fantastic. The other thing I want to talk about, Sushi Mamare. Just Google it, how it sounds. If you can't spell it, it's fine. It's a Japanese band. All women in the band.
Sounds like you just made some random noises with your mouth.
I mean, that's actually true. So, the name doesn't mean anything, which is sick as hell. It's just 5 characters in Japanese that don't mean anything.
So it's basically like shit.
It's Chumbawamba.
No, it wasn't Chumbawamba.
No, but it's like Chumbawamba.
That's
the
not
name
what I'm
means
thinking
nothing.
About. Poly 6.
Yes.
Poly 6, me, mine, or something like that. Like, all the things that they say mean literally fuck all.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, the band does have lyrics, like the all of the songs do have meanings and things like that. But all of their shit is on iTunes. It's all very good. I would say it's really high quality Japanese pop punk. And it's got a lot of interesting aspects to it. There's some ska, there's some jazz. I was showing Jeremy a track earlier called No Misu Shortcake, which means no brain shortcake, which is really funny. But that's kind of the music recommendations that I want to go through for this week. I have 2 other things that I've added. I read a webcomic from start to finish this week called Kill 6 Billion Demons.
I have no idea what that is.
You don't know what the fuck I'm talking about right now?
No idea.
I'm going to show you this shit. You know what? We'll do this live. We're doing it fucking live.
Okay, let's do this.
Okay, so Kill 6, the number, billion demons. Get my notes out of here. I'll just do a split screen, that's fine.
You're doing a really good job.
So the website is kill6billiondemons.com. Spelled exactly like it sounds.
The art looks legit.
The art is fucking legit. It is basically the story of a sorority girl who accidentally gets something called a Magus Gate lodged in her head. And now the whole, like, she's transported to heaven, which is turned into hell. And she meets an angel who's scary as fuck. It's basically very, very cool, like, mythological shit going on here. Because they meet other deities from other things, like made-up deities, and also, like, Hindu and Buddhist deities and things like that.
How many drugs do you think they did in the process?
It's a fucking mind trip. I'm going to show you just a couple of, like, the first panels. I'm going to go to the very first page. Like, that's the art style, first of all. You all can't see this, but if you go to 6billiondemons.com, you can. Or kill6billiondemons.com, you guys can see this shit. But
it's pretty legit.
It's really good.
I don't know why it's not a book.
Oh, it is. It's on Image Comics.
Oh, fantastic.
Hell yeah.
Well, if it's Image, I'm all in.
But I moved to another chapter. But, like, it's super high detailed art.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to try not to sneeze. That is an angel with a body made out of forged ash.
That's not what an angel looks like. Angels have wings and they're, like, glorious. That looked like something that came out of my nightmares.
It kind of does.
And he also has, like, one of those, like, you know, boxing helmets, I guess. Is that what that is?
Kind of, yeah. It looks like that a little bit. But, like, there is
But his
some
nipples
cool
are
shit.
made of glass.
There's some cool shit.
Transparent glass? Is that his nipples?
Yes, we'll go with that.
I like to think that we're going to have a running theme of nipples.
I'm trying to get
on
to
these shows.
Yeah. But Kill 6 Billion Demons, check that shit out because it's amazing. It's ongoing. It's all free, which is awesome. If you want a thing in book form, you can get it from Image Comics. The official name of the writer is Abaddon, which is sick as fuck. Basically, it's like listening to Perturbator on acid, reading the Bible.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's a sick ass fucking image that I just put in your brain, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, I don't like drugs though.
So,
can I make a webcomic
sure.
recommendation?
Yeah,
to you?
go ahead.
Foreskin Man.
No.
Foreskin Man is legit.
Why?
Well, because of the fact that he is a Superman that represents
foreskin.
Yes.
Great.
He's anti circumcision.
Okay.
Just read it.
No.
Guys, look up Foreskin Man.
All right.
Next to Bible Man.
No.
Greatest superhero.
I've got to move on, dude. We've got 3 more recommendations. DuckTales is coming back to television.
Looks so fucking sick.
It looks really fucking good. It looks like it's actually going to adapt a lot of stories from the old Donald Duck and Scrooge McDuck stories.
Which is also super, super awesome.
I'm really into that shit.
Me
The
too.
art style looks good. The theme song Jeremy has some issues with. I really like it. I love the art.
The woo in it needs to be higher pitched.
It does. I would agree.
You need to have it like up there because I mean you're trying to get my member berries tingling here.
Jesus.
You need to give me a little bit of what I remember, and I'll remember the woo. Just go woo. I don't remember those woo. Say it with me now. Woo. See, there you go. That's how it's supposed to go. See, now I'm tingly.
There we go.
Are you tingly?
Not tingly.
I hope you guys are tingly.
Castlevania. There's an animated series coming to Netflix. It looks tight as fuck. It's on.
Such a weeb, dude.
Okay.
Just throwing that out there.
Great. Cool.
Continue.
July 7th. Netflix. Stream all that shit on a binge and be really nerdy.
I'm going to. I felt like calling you a weeb.
Great. Finally, Cuphead.
Oh, I've been waiting 3 fucking years for this game.
This game looks really good.
Oh my god, and it finally comes out in September, and I'm so fucking excited. And it's only like $20, but why is there no physical release?
I don't know. This always happens to us.
This is
Undertale is just now getting a physical release.
Oh, dude. And
on PS4.
It looks so tight, too.
I would get that, but here's the thing. Cuphead, which is what we're actually talking about, not Undertale, although I could talk about Undertale forever.
And you have.
I have done
For
it.
the past, 2 years.
Yeah, I still listen to the soundtrack. It's a problem. Cuphead is hand-drawn in the animation style.
Absolutely.
That original, like, Disney-ass 1930s, 1940s, 1950s cartoons were drawn in.
Yeah.
Every single thing has an animation. Like, if there's a cell animation, everything
was drawn,
and there's a reason it's taken 3 goddamn years to do it, is because they're using traditional animation styles and doing it in a video game format, not in a like movie or TV show. They are having to go through the process of making everything interactive.
Yeah.
And really sort of guessing what every character or what every player is going to do.
Right.
They're having to anticipate actions that players take.
Yeah.
It takes so fucking long to do that.
Yeah.
And the game looks really, really good. Cuphead is itself a adaptation of an old 30s sort of propaganda cartoon.
Well, it was actually designed by or influenced by, and I can't remember what the name of it was, but those old 30s cartoons that were like actually like nowadays like super creepy, like the ones
they're super creepy,
where they're like going to hell and like the dancing skeletons and all that shit, because like the actual storyline of the game is like Cuphead and Mugboy, I think is his name, I can't remember, but they sell their souls to the devil.
Yeah.
And here's another really cool thing about it. I don't know if you know this. They're actually going for a world record with this game too.
Yeah.
So the world record that they're trying to aim for is the most bosses in any video game, and we're talking without the oh my. Well,
what happened?
Sorry for that. That was my elbow.
You fucked up.
I did. I'm here to run everything that's beautiful, like I said, but without DLC, they're aiming to break the world record for most bosses, but they're also planning DLC that will only extend that.
So here's what's hilarious to me, right? This does not, like, on paper, does not sound like a great video game.
No, it already sounds...
like, you're telling me that I have to slog through 100 bosses? Like, this sounds terrible. But at the same time, like, if the gameplay is really good, which I've heard it is...
With the co-op.
I've heard that the gameplay combines platforming with sort of the shoot-'em-up situation.
It's a shmup, it's a platformer, it's a bullet hell, yeah.
Like, I've seen a lot of I've seen a lot of comparisons to, like, the Nichijou series, where it's like, it's really kind of silly, like, up to, bottom to the top, scrolling.
Yeah.
It looks really, really good. And
but it's also got the interactive overworld as well.
Yeah.
It's got upgrades, it's got collectibles, it's got... Man, this is one of those games, like, this is ripe for the pre-order thing or the collector's edition thing, because, like, how can you not want a Cuphead vinyl figure? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
And I'm a toy collector. You better believe whenever I saw that, I got tingly over the idea of having like a little...
You get tingly a lot.
I do. It doesn't take a lot. I mean, give me a gentle breeze and all of a sudden it's just... I'm not a great lover, is what I'm trying to say.
No.
At all.
But
I like how you said no. Like you.
Like, I know.
I
don't fucking know.
He knows.
I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, Cuphead sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And there's going to be awesome collectibles and awesome sort of DLC and awesome game in general.
Is it obvious how awesome it is yet? Because we won't shut the fuck up about it.
I'm excited. I'm going to come over and just hijack your PlayStation.
Dude, I've already got it on pre-order. And it's not on PlayStation.
Oh, it's on
my Xbox.
Yeah. Oh,
I've
yeah.
got that
Xbox and
motherfucker
PC.
pre-order. You better believe I'm already considering buying a second controller for that bitch so that we can, like, fucking kill...
You don't buy anything
thingies.
for your Xbox. You've only used your PlayStation 4 in the last few times I've been here.
My PlayStation's my baby. My Xbox, I bought...
It's the redheaded stepchild.
It really is. I only bought it for 2 games.
One is Cuphead.
One is Cuphead that is finally coming out. The other one was We Happy Few, which is...
It
and
may
it's
come
still
out.
like an alpha.
It may come out at some point.
Yeah, at some point. Like, hurry the fuck up with it is what I'm saying. God damn it.
We cannot spend too much more time on this because we have to go, but I
Yeah.
will say We Happy Few has pissed me off a little bit. They announced a movie for it. The game has not come out yet.
I'm angry. I
We-
want
we-
my money back.
we
I
need to
spent
go.
$40 on this shit.
Fuck
I
that.
bought $40 fucking dollars on an alpha build. God damn it! And it's not even complete. Half of it doesn't even work. It's glitchy as fuck. I fell through the map like twice. Dude.
Oh, you hit the sub-ocean.
I hit the fucking
High
subs.
five.
Oh wait, that was yeah. There we go. That was tight. No, dude, fuck that game right now.
Yeah.
That game could have been awesome.
Cuphead is going to be better.
God.
So, thank you so much for listening to the Terminus podcast. My name is Trevor.
I'm sleepy.
That's Gerald.
Thank you.
We really do appreciate y'all listening to the show. We do have episodes up on SoundCloud. We are, at this moment, as of fucking 3 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, July 2nd.
2:53 to be exact. But do you not know what numbers are?
No, I don't. We are trying to get on iTunes.
Yes.
I submitted
Yay.
the podcast with a correct image size image to iTunes at like 11:30 last night.
I'm really proud of you.
Yeah, that's great. I could have done that earlier, and maybe we
You
did
really
it.
could have.
But
yeah.
we will be anticipating an iTunes release very soon. We'll let you guys know on our Facebook page, which is the Terminus Podcast.
Absolutely.
Um,
Come love up on us, baby.
come say hi.
We love you so much.
I want to thank Kevin Moan and the Reptiles for the use of our theme song off of the album. The song is called
self-titled.
Police State.
Mm-hmm.
The album is Kevin Moan and the Reptiles.
Absolutely.
You cannot get it on their Bandcamp.
Wait, what?
I just checked their Bandcamp. Unless this is if this is the same album, I think they have different album names. Let me see if I can find this shit.
I was able to download it the other day.
Oh no, I've done a bad. Let me go to my history.
Oh wow, dude, we're so not cutting any of this. You look so
No,
stupid
I have.
right now.
It's fine. I got
God,
there.
you look so dumb.
I got there.
I'm so proud of you.
Oh yeah, no, this is Police State off the album Kevin Moan and the
God, you look
Reptiles.
so dumb right now.
It's fine.
Oh man.
You can go get the album at kevinmoan thereptiles.bandcamp.com. Again,
Thanks, Kevin.
thanks Kevin. Kevin is a fan on our Facebook.
We
That's-
love you.
It's real weird. It's weird to think about. We already have fans. There are like 10 of them.
I mean, yeah, it's.
I'm a fan of the page, so I mean, I don't know. Maybe our numbers are a little inflated.
I'm a fan of me.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's all you need.
I'm just a lovable piece of shit.
We do not have any other social media. We're not on Twitter. We're not on Instagram.
No,
I don't think we will be.
we don't have a reason for Instagram.
No, we don't. No, we really don't. But we may be
Maybe
announcing
Twitter?
some other things. I don't know.
You
We'll
can do
figure
the
it out.
Twitter.
I'll do the Twitter.
I hate Twitter.
I don't care about Twitter. You can also send us emails about the show, whether you
Yeah.
loved it, hated it, at theterminuspodcast@gmail.com.
Is that a thing yet? You
That's
got
my.
that?
I did the thing last night. That's how I got
Oh,
the
man.
SoundCloud.
Dude, this is how together we have shit. We have no idea what we're doing.
No, we don't.
Like I made the Facebook. He did the email.
You made the image.
I made the image.
You made this sick ass image that we have now.
Dude, I'm so appreciative of that. And,
And the fact is, like, you're like, I shot this out at like 2:30 last night, and it's like, oh hey, yeah, we're using this forever.
yeah, I didn't expect that. I thought you were gonna laugh at me and call me names. I'm gonna be honest with you.
No, I don't have a photo editing program, so I was actually a little nervous about needing, like, what we were going to do for that.
I mean, I thought we were just gonna use a cat.
Well, we did talk about that last week.
We did.
We are way the fuck over. So,
Thanks,
until
guys.
next time, thank you guys so much for listening. Once again, go check out Kevin Moan and the Reptiles and their new album, Kevin Moan and the Reptiles,
Well, it's not
self-titled.
new. I mean, it's been
It's
out
old.
since like 2014, I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's fine.
it's been a minute.
We can
He'll
say new.
appreciate it anyway.
He will. He'll love it.
Yeah, thanks.
Just go get his shit.
Go do it.
But we're gonna go now.
Yeah.
I might coerce him into playing video games.
Oh, I'm on it. Thanks, guys, and also
Have a good night.
Thanks, Frankie.
Frankie,
Yeah.
why are we shaking hands so hard? All right,
Because we're man.
bye.
Bye.
Police